Hello guys and welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. As you can see in front of me today, we're taking a look at the Detroit Mint Mach chronograph. It's a mechanical chronograph and it's live on Kickstarter right now. I will drop a link to their campaign in the description below. So there will be some changes on the final iterations if they're funded on Kickstarter, but this is the wood box it comes in. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty good. And this is just a prototype, so keep that in mind. Now inside, it does come with a nice little cloth case here. And then of course here is the bullhead style chronograph. I was keeping that for this. But yes, it is indeed a bullhead style chronograph, and it's a pretty nice looking chronograph. It's really nice. I think it's pretty unique. It doesn't really look like anything out there on the market. Now, getting into some basic dimensions and specifications, the case is crafted of solid 316L stainless steel, which is the industry standard here. As you can see, it's pretty much fully polished in a really nice high polish, and I didn't really find any blemishes or anything like that around the case. Very nice kind of oval case shape here. Of course, your chronograph buttons are at the top in a bullhead style. Very easy to use when you're driving and such. Now, the case itself is around 50 millimeters from top to bottom, or lug to lug, we can call that. So it's about 50 millimeters from here to here. We have a 20 millimeter lug width. We do have a diameter of 42 millimeters. There are no crowns on the left or right side, so it kind of has a smaller diameter there of 40 millimeters. Really, the longer part is the 50 millimeter lug to lug, but it wears pretty nice on my 6.5 inch wrist. We do get a genuine sapphire crystal, which is pretty nice and thick there. So that's always good to see. At this price point, we'll get more into the price towards the end of the video. We get 5 ATMs or 50 meters of water resistance, which is not bad. And the dial is actually quite stunning. I want to get you in a little closer on the dial. So we have this, it does state automatic here, even though this is a mechanical chronograph. I talked to the owner, and that will be changed. As you can see, it is labeled right here, the Mach by Detroit Mint with their logo. On the left side, we do have this nice kind of silver sunburst dial with the black sub-dial. It's kind of like a panda design, which is pretty nice. Everything is pretty neatly in place, including the applied markers. We have nice red accents on the chronograph hand, nice long loomed hands for the hour and the minutes, and a tachymeter track running around near the chapter ring over here, which I think is pretty nice. The crown located over here is pull and push, and then you have your chronograph buttons here. Now, one thing he will change is the knurling on this crown to make it easier to operate. I did hear that. But other than that, the dial is nice. It's clean. It's pretty symmetrical. I think it looks nice. I'm going to go ahead and start the chronograph here. As you can see, that will start to sweep. And it is quite legible with that nice red style hand over the silver dial. As you can see there, sweeping around. So this is running a Seiko mechanical ST chronograph. Very nice looking movement from the back. Now the case back itself, as you can see, it's screwed down. Just states Detroit Mint Mach, 5 ATMs automatic. It will be featuring an exhibition case back, so you really get to see that movement, because it is a pretty nice movement to look at. You can look at all the gears and such, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with that movement. We do not get hacking on this movement. We do get hand winding. So the top sub-dial over here is for your 30-minute countdown, and then we have your running 60 seconds at the bottom. Now to actually function this, I'm going to go ahead and pull this crown out right here. Now that the crown is out, I can set the hands here, as you can see, and it's just a pull and push crown. So I'm going to go ahead and push that back in. But other than that, it's a very nice made watch. Obviously, it's not a homage or anything like that, even though it kind of it's supposed to resemble kind of like a racing chronograph from the 60s. Which I think they did a pretty good job. Now this is a lugless design, meaning that the strap is actually recessed in here, and it fits pretty nice. The prototype comes on this nice genuine leather band. As you can see, it has multicolor stitching, which is pretty nice there. Polished buckle. I believe this will be signed as well. One floating keeper and one stationary keeper, but it's a pretty nice genuine leather. As you can see here, it's stitched pretty good. And I don't see an issue there. I like the colors. The reddish or reddish orange, I should say, really matches the sub-dial pretty good there. Now this chronograph itself does have some other options that they will be coming out with. They do have a goldish tone, kind of brushed one, and a brushed steel one as well, which looks pretty cool. Myself, I'd prefer the polished one. It kind of really pops on the wrist there. And as you can see, it's quite slim with that seagull mechanical movement there as well, which is pretty nice on the wrist. My wrist is 6.5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it on my wrist, show you guys exactly what this watch looks like. Now there's the watch on my 6.5 inch wrist. As you can see, the strap conforms very nicely straight out of the box, and it really doesn't wear that big on my wrist. For 50 across or up top to bottom, it really fits just across my wrist and really wears quite slender on the wrist there. And it has a real nice kind of sporty look, but definitely can be, you know, casual dress as well, I think. But yeah, definitely really looks at home on my 6.5 inch wrist there. And I was worried about the lug to lug, but I think I can definitely pull that off. If you look there across, it fits just perfect. And my wrist is not that big, so I think on the wrist, it really looks at home on my wrist. And I think they did a good job on the proportions here. Now, typically on chronographs, you don't really see that much lume, but actually on this watch, the lume is pretty good and potent. I was quite surprised by that. You can see there's lume inserted in between the applied markers. There's lume on the hour and the minutes hand, and on top of the markers in those circular pips, and it's pretty potent. It glows green. I believe it's some type of superluminova or C3 superluminova, and it looks pretty good. It stays lit for pretty long as well. Now, getting to the price of the Mach mechanical chronograph, this watch is only $250 on Kickstarter, and I think that's a really good price, to be honest. You know, many chronographs are usually more expensive, I would say. But for the $250 price point, you're getting a seagull mechanical movement, you're getting a unique design, something very retro, which is really in right now as well. It's definitely something that's going to get noticed on your wrist. And I think they did a pretty good job on the build quality and the dial as well. I really love that nice kind of sunburst silver there. It looks really nice in the light. And the case finishing is pretty decent as well. You're getting a sapphire crystal, and you're getting good lume as well, which we just noticed. I think it's a pretty cool watch, and it'll even look much better when they put the exhibition case back on there, and you can really see the movement come to life. So let me know what you guys think about this watch down in the comment section below. I will drop a link to their Kickstarter, which if you're interested in this watch, you can always back them if you want. You can definitely check out my blog at www.watchaddictchannel.com or at Instagram at watchaddictchannel. I will see you guys in the next video. Drop your comments, queries, thoughts, everything down below. And I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.